Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, 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 mic check, mic check. Everybody good? Hey, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Hot mic. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check, hey, hey.
We'll have Coach Fleck in here momentarily. For student athletes, we're going to start with defense first today. We'll have Jack Henderson and Justin Wally, and then on offense we'll have Ethan Calic-Manis and Daniel Jackson. So Coach should be here in just a few minutes. Rushing yards today. Majority of those obviously at Western Michigan. And then Ethan going 12 of 14, 85.7%. Fourth best completion percentage school history since 1979, as far back as those records go, with a minimum of 10 completions.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. You got to give credit to Louisiana. They're a really good football team. I think if you're a football fan, know anything about football, and you watch that game, I mean, they're going to be either 1 or 2 in the Sun Belt. They're long, they're athletic, they're fast. That quarterback is legit. I mean, he can play. One of his best plays, I mean, he's very accurate. One of his best plays is his second play. They're well coached. Coach Michael does a great job. I mean, what a gracious man, wonderful coach, and got a chance to spend some time with him at midfield. And Louisiana is led by an elite man. I mean, we had a great conversation out there, and you can tell why his team plays so hard for him. That we knew this was going to be a challenge. We knew it. Simple as that. I don't know if now we haven't written our articles yet, which I know, but I don't think this team's going to get enough credit for the rebound and response to what happened last week. I don't think anybody understands how hard that was for that group of young men. On Sunday, we didn't do anything. We just talked. You could tell they hurt, and why did they hurt? Because they care a ton. They care about each other. They care about this university. They care about this football program. They care about the state. They care about what just slipped through their hand last week. So Sunday, we changed our entire plan just to make sure they were good, they were okay, walked them through the entire thing, why it happened, and then we let them go. Go get your mind right. Go get your mind better. We don't need to talk about football right now. We'll get that on Tuesday. And sometimes you just need to be able to take a big, deep breath and trust your players. And I thought they came together, had a great week of practice. Our catapult data was outstanding because catapult doesn't lie. You can sit there and say, yeah, they looked like they were running fast. They looked like they worked hard. But the catapult data doesn't lie. And they crushed it, had a great week. And the game didn't necessarily go their way early, middle, or towards the end. And they just continue to row the boat. I mean, that's what Row the Boat's about. That's why it's our program. That's why it's within the program. There's a lot of opportunities they could have been like, oh, here we go again, and just folded easily from the first quarter on. And this is, I said before, when things are really good, what happens? When things are really bad, what happens? There's a lot of inexperienced players out there, everybody. That is not an excuse, but there is. That's a fact. So there's reasons why things happen. There's a lot of youth out there, which bodes well for the future of this year, and it bodes well for the future for coming years. But we're not going to just cut corners. We have a lot of really good players out right now. We got to get them healthy. We got to get them back on the field. So we're gaining valuable experience, valuable knowledge, valuable data for our football team. Again, got to give Louisiana a ton of credit. And I'm just really thankful we found a way to win. And I thought, offensively, we were able to control the line of scrimmage, do a lot of positive things, score some points, and we got a lot of things to fix. But I'm sure you got questions, so let's row.
PJ, you talked about Northwestern, things that happened after last week. How much did you feel like that was contributing to the slow start early, or what did you feel like the thing was for that?
Well, I think it just came down to the attention to detail. Once the game starts, they're not thinking about last week. But there are subliminal things that enter your mind, I'm sure, when it doesn't go your way after a incredibly hard loss. I'd like to say all losses are the same. They are because they have the same shape, right? They have the same letter. That's about it. They all tell you a different story of what you need to learn and grow from. When it didn't start well, that was probably the best thing that could happen to us. I mean, at the end of the day, probably the best thing to test the football team, to test what we were going to do when it did not go so well. And I thought they responded very well. And we had to get some things cleaned up. Part of the issue was when this guy gets a chance to step up in the pocket, he is deadly. That guy, he is a fantastic quarterback. I mean, there are teams in our league that would take him tomorrow. Like when you're talking about playing where the level he could play, it's unbelievable how good he is. His accuracy, and then when he steps up in the pocket, he is so dangerous because he can run and he can throw on the run. The halftime adjustments was to make sure that, because we didn't do a very good job of squeezing the lanes in our pass rush, whereas we needed to do that. And if he was going to escape, he was going to escape backwards. And that's where we got some picks. We got him throwing off his back foot. We got the ball in the air, and we were able to capitalize offensively on some of the takeaways. So if we would have done that in the first half, it would have been better. But we'll learn from that.
Is that what you expect out of your running back committee?
Yeah, this is, again, start of the year. It's unfortunate Darius is out. Obviously one of the best tailbacks already in the country statistically. He's only a true freshman. He's only played in technically 3 games. But this is where other people have opportunities. And this isn't like somebody did. I want to make this clear. Nobody did anything wrong in our running back room. Sometimes people say, like, what happened? Competition is competition. And consistencies, when everybody's pretty good, it comes down to who does it just a little bit better, more consistently. And not only that, everybody wants to play. Okay, but I get that. And there's a lot of players in my office every week wanting to play. That's part of being the head coach. That's part about being a competitor. But are you ready when your opportunity comes? And what do you do with it? Because if you're not ready and it comes, you probably won't get many more opportunities. And I thought a guy like Zach Evans took huge advantage of that today. And again, I think he's been, beginning of the spring, I said, hey, you got to be our guy. And as you kind of go through it, it's competition. And he didn't do anything wrong. Just consistency, the intensity, the focus on all the things. But when everybody's playing well, you got to pick who did it the best. And now we have a group of running backs who's gaining experience. That was a huge question mark at the beginning of the year. Bryce ran hard today. Sean did well today. I mean, Zach ran well today. We even did some things with Cole Kramer just to be able to give us some more options based on what they were going to play and how many numbers they had in the box. So I thought Greg and Matt put together a really good game plan. You know, when some of your best players, you lose Crab, then you lose Darius, you get something rolling, and every week somebody's not there. I don't think people know how hard that is, especially when you're young and inexperienced at a lot of positions.
What was the conversation like in the headset on that fourth down play action call?
It was very positive. Actually, it was. Because it was about ending the game, and period. And, you know, we actually had that play call scheduled for the first play of the game, believe it or not. Ended up being the last play of the game, technically, just because defenses dictate what's going on and what happens. And we checked out of it, and we knew we'd come back to it. And Mekhi was supposed to run it. Mekhi gets hurt, who's, again, one of our best playmakers. And then you put somebody in there like Daniel, and he knows what to do. He didn't run that route one time in practice, not one time. But he knows what to do. He's a guy who studies every position, stepped up in that moment. It was just a perfect play call for that perfect moment if you trust your players in the pressure of the situation. And, again, that's what they have to earn. That's what they have to go get. And that's how you get better as the year goes on. So I was really happy for him, proud of him that they were able to do that. Seems like we were in that same position last week, you know, just the same position. And, yeah.
Scored 5 touchdowns on drives that crossed the 40. How pleased were you with the execution there?
I was just pleased with the execution in general on offense. I think there were a few drives. You know, there was one drive that I thought, you know, we got to catch puncture on one of the tight end passes. If we catch it, puncture it, we get a first down. Instead, we try to outrun the corner. There weren't a lot of things. I mean, we start the game backed up at the -2. We got to get that stuff fixed, which we will. And kids, you know, if he jumps and catches it and lands out of bounds, we get the ball at the 35. Instead, I think he got a little confused, which we got to get. I got to coach him better. So, but we start backed up. That was not where we wanted to be. But once we got moving, I thought we dominated the line of scrimmage. We were able to run, which set up some really good passes. I mean, Ethan was 12 of 14, 85%, which is one of the better performances, fourth best performance in school history. Yes. And that's not too bad from somebody that 2 weeks ago everybody said it was awful, you know. So, and I don't mean that you guys. That's not because last time I said that I don't mean you. I'm just saying in general. I heard it too. This isn't a knock on anybody in here. You have a job to do, but that was all what was said, right? I mean, he had a horrible game at North Carolina. Poor kid's up here talking about how bad he played. And the last 2 games, he's responded. Nobody works harder in that room than him. And you talk about, like, dedication to his work, the relationship with him and Coach Harbaugh, and he's just getting better and better and better and better. And that's what I want to see. Doesn't mean the line of success is going to go like this, guys. There's going to be some bumps in the road. But I think all of you in here, if you had an anonymous poll and you got to buzz right for yes and left for no, if I said, who thinks he's a pretty good player, anonymously, with not being in your papers, and nobody knows what your opinion is, you'd all hit that right button right now. If you think he's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty talented. So, you know, I thought we were, you know, fourth down was good. I thought we did a good job with the push play and the quarterback sneak. You know, we had the one interception, which we'll put that one on me and the coaches. I don't think we were clear enough of what we wanted in that particular play. But other than that, you know, I thought the offense did what we needed to do. You know, we're scoring 35 points a game. I mean, we need to be able to win games scoring 35 points.
PJ, compare to last week. So last week you were 1 for 7 on 3rd and 4th downs in the second half. This week you were 7 of 11.
That's the name of the game. That's the difference in the game. We had 2 opportunities at Northwestern to end the game. We didn't do that. Yep. Today we did. And unfortunately, we gave up the long run at the end, which can't happen. We got to get some guys healthy. We got to get some guys back on defense, and we will. And we got
Down to, serious, just execution, better execution.
well. I think if you look back even last week, I think we were in way more manageable third downs. I think that's the name of our game. If we can be down in 3rd and 2, crossing the midfield, I know I got 2 plays possibly to get it based on what we do. That was the whole thing of Northwestern last week. If we just get a yard, we're going for it. We lose 2 yards. I mean, now it's 4th and 4. Northwestern's pretty smart. So that's where we went with the time, picking the time. Today it was more like, all right, we need to end it because we felt the play was there.
PJ,
Pierre, go ahead.
When did you, how much did Darius practice all week? When did you determine he was going to be out? How long do you think you might be out?
Are you mad that you didn't get that on the PJ Fleck show?
Yes, I am. That was my
All right, well, Pierre, he didn't practice all week, so he wasn't ever going to get there, and that's the great thing about. Well, I don't know. Maybe before I would have more information, but the Big Ten has rules, and we'll do everything we can to get him back for game day. And the 2-hour rule right before the Big Ten, before we play Big Ten games, that's where I'll kind of let everybody know where everybody stands. But he's working really hard to get back, and that's part of being a freshman is. He's not doing anything wrong, just learning your body, learning how to take care of it, learning what you need, learning what goes into all that. That's why there's not a lot of true freshmen out there that play. And when he does, he plays really well, and that's why he was 3 straight weeks of Freshman Player of the Week, and I don't think he'll get it this week.
Coach, how do you, when you're recruiting, when you're selling this program and all the benefits yourself as a coach, how do you recruit someone when you can't include an NIL in it?
That's a great question. I think you have to have your own philosophical beliefs at this point in college football. We have a lot of players on our football team right now who make a lot of money in NIL. And it's my job, Mark Coyle's job, and our job with our NIL department and our collectives to go out and raise lots of money for our student athletes. And that's what we've been doing. And there's been a lot of support from our fans and our alumni to help because that's the name of the game. When you're talking recruiting, I have my own beliefs. I think there's a lot of people who come to the University of Minnesota for the collegiate experience because I still believe in that. You can still have a full college experience with NIL. But when you're picking just for NIL, you don't know if you're going to fit that offense, fit what they're going to do, fit that depth chart. What are they doing? What are they telling you? What's going to happen? Then the money's gone. Then what? Right? Then what? We're talking about investing over the next 70 years of your life, not just the next 7 years of your life. We're not talking about just immediate take for right now when you're losing out on long-term gain. And I'm not saying that NIL and that part's bad because there's a lot of money being thrown around there that's life-changing for everybody. But at the end of the day, for us, we've got to stand on what we believe in and what we have and what we do. So there's been a lot of players that pick us because of our collegiate experience, because they want to play for the Gophers, because they want to row the boat, because they want to be developed academically, athletically, socially, spiritually. So not just the short-term money at the forefront, but they're getting it over the next 70 years of their life because they have incredible jobs. They have incredible impact, plus being able to possibly play in the National Football League. Understand what to do with that money and how to be able to invest it, what to do with it while you're here. So there's a lot of different beliefs on it, and it's very challenging. I'm not going to lie to you. The way everybody navigates the waters, of NIL, they do it all differently. That's the one thing that's not the same. It's like fingerprints. Not one person or one team does it exactly the same. But it is very difficult. However, I think we have one of the greatest recruiting classes we've ever had committed here at the University of Minnesota, right? Since we've been here. And there hasn't been a lot of NIL talk at all about what it's going to take to come here. It's more about you come here, look at the opportunities with our 18 Fortune 500 companies, our collectives of all the businesses, the local businesses. The world is your oyster. Why wouldn't you want to do that? But there's always somebody that can outbid you. That's life. And that's why when I tell, and I say it publicly, to help our recruits when they're here and our players here, I hope everybody does everything they can to support our student athletes and continue to invest in the collective, continue to invest in Dinkytown athletes, continue to do and drink Duck Duck beer. It's so creative. We're finding a lot of creative avenues to produce that revenue, to be able to help our student athletes. And that's the world we live in. And if you don't adapt, you'll die on the vine. Now, I believe in what I believe in. So changing and adapting are two different things. I believe in what we believe in. And the great thing about it is I get to work for somebody, the greatest athletic director out there, Mark Coyle, who our vision aligns with how we do things. And that's refreshing. It truly is. In a world of chaoticness, we align in a lot of the same things we believe in. But we work equally as hard to make sure that the experience people have at the University of Minnesota while they're here is the greatest in the world. And we'll continue to do that. I want to just say happy homecoming to everybody, all the alums, everybody who was in our locker room. Thanks to all of our fans for the stripe out. Hope everybody has a safe homecoming, but really enjoys it. And last but not least, just want to say happy, 25th birthday again to my wife, Heather. It's her birthday today. So she's 25 again, so she's doing great. Some of you will write an article and actually think she's 25. Anyway, row the boat, Scotty Mago, Gophers. Thanks, everybody.
I did a lot of the writing last year. I was beat on football, beat on women's and men's basketball. This year, my schedule is so full, but I'll probably this one I'm writing up. From time to time, I'm able to write and edit a little. I'm also setting up a newsletter for just sports for the Minnesota Daily. Send out every week. It'll just be like a weekly recap of all the sports articles that were.
When are you gonna get that off the ground?
Tomorrow?
I'll keep an eye on it. Should I just go to the Daily? I'll get the information there.
Yeah, if you're subscribed to the newsletter already, you should send out something.
All right.
Along with the article.
Good luck with that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Nobody's thought of it.
Daniel, Dustin, take a
It
seat.
was one of the ideas that the GM and I kind of conjured up.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions.
For either of you guys, how unique was it to find out last Sunday that you guys aren't going to watch film and it's going to be grieve a little bit over the Northwestern game and not go through your regular routine?
I would say it was maybe a different, routine of it because we do typically practice on Sundays. But it was nice, we was composed and we was able to take a deep breath and get our minds right for, what we have and going 1-0 in this game. So that's kind of what Sunday was about, just focusing up and getting the week ahead of us.
Daniel, with no Darius playing, but you had 4 different guys carried at least 10 times. Just how much confidence does that give you moving forward? I mean, no matter who's back there, you guys can get a job on the ground.
Yeah. It's a huge shout out to Coach McKissick Luke. And, he did a great job, or he does a great job with the running backs. And it's always a next man up mentality. And we know all of our running backs is ready to play in the Big Ten. And as you've seen with Zach Evans in the spring game, he came out there but he allowed it, or he showed it really in a game type situation today.
What was the lesson you learned from blowing a 3-touchdown lead last week?
Just being composed, really, and never taking the foot off the gas, and doing our job, really, because that's all it comes down to is just doing your job. And every play, doesn't matter, first quarter, fourth quarter, do your job and beat the man across from you. So learning from that 3-touchdown deficit, really, we kind of remembered it, and we used it to motivate us going into this week.
Justin, what were the key adjustments from the first half to the second half today within that defensive room?
Schematic-wise, there wasn't really any key adjustments. It's all about just details. The first half, we started slow. We had a lot of misfits. Guys, we wouldn't, the whole defense wasn't being detailed. A lot of big plays. In the second half, we came out calm and collective, and make a choice. Like, you going to rest in your sorrows or you going to go out there and make something happen. And second half, we made something happen.
Daniel Fleck talked about how on that 4th down, you'd never run that route in practice, yet you went out and executed in the game. What was that conversation like when they came to you and said you're the one doing it?
Yeah, it's sad to see my brother go down. I love him to death, Mekhi. But yeah, that's Mekhi. That was Mekhi's touchdown, truly. So I ran that play for Mekhi. But And just, you know what I'm saying, in the meeting room, Coach Simon goes over everything, and we always take notes. If he's not talking to you, he's still talking to you. So knowing you can be in any situation at any time and being poised in the situation and not letting, the circumstance dictate however it goes. Maybe it wasn't the right look, or maybe it was the right look, but however, we can just still go out there and execute.
Justin, how difficult was it to keep their quarterback contained?
Yeah, he's a really good player. We know coming into this week that he could run a lot. And like we said, like we wasn't being very detailed the first half, and that kind of hurt us. He had like a lot of rushing yards first half. I know. After halftime, we had to make some adjustments, and we could contain him better.
Daniel, take me through at the end of the third quarter, the catch on the left sideline. Ethan took a good hit, and you made a nice catch there.
Oh, you talking about the 4th and 2 catch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So really, I mean, a lot of, teams, they try to maybe in that situation, it's a 4th and 2. You maybe think that we're going to run the ball, but we used that against, the defense. And we came out with a great game plan. It's a great call. And as a team, we executed it. Ethan took a hit. I really wasn't even sure he really took a hit. But, yeah, I mean, kudos to Ethan for still getting that ball out there and putting it on the money, allowing me to, allow me to go, help us.
I thought that was one of the keys to the drive and really just kind of the turnaround in general.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. We try to finish every drive, but seeing the score and the situation and being able to optimize that, that opportunity was good for us.
Daniel, what did you see on that first touchdown on the corner route? You broke into a lot of space there on that play.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the coverage was or what the defense had going on, but Mekhi did a great job of holding the corner down, and he did his job at a great level. And really, my route was kind of free access. I kind of just went vertical, broke to the corner, and Ethan put a ball away from the corner, which was a great, location of the ball. But yeah, that's just routes on air, free access, just executing, coming down to.
Justin, what did you feel like were the kind of behind-the-scenes nuances of those 2 interceptions you guys had?
Say it one more time.
What did you feel from a cornerback perspective were the key things in those 2 interceptions you guys had?
Well, I know on Noob, he just made a hell of a play. Playing a guy like Noob in the secondary, he's capable of making plays like that. Even like if it's not his play to make, he gonna make a play anyway. And I wasn't really sure on the second one. I didn't see it, but we're just playing with details. No matter like what the call is, we know if we really detailed and the opportunity to come our way.
Justin, talk about Jack Henderson's development in his role on defense so far this season.
Yeah, I know. I think in Coach Fleck, one of his interviews, he said he's a guy that loves football, and he's not lying. Jack loves football. Every day he comes to the field to get better and better every day, and it's just showing on the field now. So we all happy that he's on our team.
Any more questions? All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Jack and Ethan in here in a moment.
Very effectively. We have a great group of guys at the running back position. We have a great coach. I'm super confident in everybody at the running back spot. I mean, Zach Evans had a day today. I could speak for the other 2 guys, Bryce and Sean, too. I mean, they just played their butts off. I'm super proud of all of them, and they put in a lot of work. So they earned it, and I'm just super proud of them.
What do you guys call the push play?
The push play?
Yeah, what do you call it?
It's just the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, man. That's what we call it. Yeah, that's a great play, ain't it?
Ethan, can you take us through not the 4th and 2 touchdown, but the play before that? It looked like a near sack, and you were able to come up with a completion there. What were you seeing?
Yeah, I think that's just us being us, honestly. I got hit, and I don't really remember, to be honest. But I avoided it. I saw Corey one-on-one, and, Corey made a huge play in a critical situation, and that set us up for the play, that was the touchdown. But people, I'm glad you mentioned it. People often, missed those plays because we scored on the next play, but that was such a critical play to move us to 4th and 2. So I'm just super happy for Corey. I mean, he made a great play, a great catch. So, yeah, he put us in the spot to ultimately score. So, yeah.
Ethan, what was your reaction when you found out that Sunday's plan was going to be different last Sunday? And how did you feel like that helped you guys?
I think that we were able to just take a deep breath and just, focus on, what we have to do. And I think that showed today, too. I mean, it was such a defining moment. We were put in the same position to go and win the game. Northwestern, we came up a little short. But today, I mean, I'm just so proud of the guys, the way we finished the game. You live and you learn, and I'm just so happy for the response from all of us, offense, defense, and special teams. We all responded when the moment mattered. And you never know when the moment's going to come. You never know what play is going to cause, or it could be a play that could win the game. Because I don't really believe that there's plays that lose games, but there is plays that win games. And, as a unit, offensive unit, the line, I mean, they played their butts off today, too. The backs, wide receivers. I'm just super proud of the guys and how we responded today.
Jack, did that performance today mean a little bit more for you, being a Louisiana guy?
Yes, it did. It did. I'm not sure why, but it just, man, I was so pumped pregame. I was trying to contain all my excitement. But yes, it definitely meant a lot to me, especially seeing some friends and family from back home that came up to see me, and even got some Mardi Gras beads before the game. So that's always nice.
Jack, on the interception, did you jump the route or take me through it?
Really, I was just dropping in the zone, and I believe our D-line got heavy pressure on the quarterback, and he kind of just threw it as he was going down, I believe, and I was just in my zone, and I was able to grab it, Coach always says, catch the ones that they throw you, and that's what I did.
Jack, how many people did you have at the game, and were there any surprises in that group?
Yeah, I'd say roughly 12 people. Good friends of my parents, childhood friends. Kids I went to high school with, so it just meant a lot for me to see the support from people back home, just dropping everything, because it's just not an easy trip to make, and so just seeing guys I went to high school with, it was really nice to see, and it really pumped me up too.
How long away from Louisiana? How did you pick Minnesota?
Oh man, it all started with Coach Danny. Coach Danny showed up at my house, and I kind of fell in love with him. And just to know that I'd have him as my position coach kind of motivated me. But, I mean, of course, after I got up here, I got to meet Coach Rossi, Coach Fleck, and see what Minnesota has to offer. And I just knew that with the way the culture is set up, that I'd have 100 other guys, with their head down and kind of hustling like I do. And, it just felt like home to me. So that's why I came.
Nathan, specifically on Zach Evans, what did you see from him? What did he do well?
I saw total confidence. He's a really confident kid. He's got really good feet for someone at that position to be his size. The way he's built, he's got really good feet. He's one of my best friends on this team, and I mean, he just earned it. He's worked all off season, super hard. He knows what he's doing. He's super confident. He trusts everything that's around him. He trusts what's going on. He trusts the game plan. I'm just super proud of the way he played today.
Given the fact how close you guys are, how was it for him for the first 4 games to not play that much of it?
Yeah, I mean, he's willing to do whatever the team needs. And, Darius, I mean, you see our room is just so talented. That doesn't really affect him. That's not the kind of kid Zach is. Zach's a very selfless person. That's why he fits right in our program. I mean, not our program, the program. But, yeah, he's just such a good kid. That doesn't bother him. He just had his opportunity, and he shined, so.
It looked like you were signaling to go for it on 4th down there. What were you thinking, the confidence to push for that?
Yeah, I think that's just what we needed. I wanted to respond. I just wanted to keep responding, and we talk about it all the time. I love being put in those situations where the ball's in our hands as a unit, and we have to go make the play. I love being put in that situation. And, it really meant a lot because, last week we came up short, but we just wanted to, say that, we did come up short, but we're willing to do whatever it takes to not come up short. So I'm just, I can't emphasize it enough how proud I am of the guys. I mean, offense, defense, special teams. Not everything went our way. There were a lot of things, my interception, it was, a bad play on my part. I didn't execute the play, but, just constantly responding. The defense responding in the fourth quarter. Jack, being in his zone, getting that interception. I mean, all those things connected for us today.
How big of a challenge is the quarterback run game and scrambling?
Really, we put a lot of emphasis on containing the quarterback this week, especially up front. And we knew the guy's a great playmaker on his feet. I mean, he had 2 or 3 explosive plays on his feet the past few weeks. And we knew coming into the game that'd be a big challenge. So just emphasizing throughout the week, containing the quarterback was big for us. And I believe we executed.
You guys came away with 5 touchdowns and drives that crossed the Louisiana 40. What do you think helped that you guys finished drives and execute that?
I think the game plan, we had a great game plan. The confidence we had as a unit, because we know we could, every week we know there's so many things we can improve on. And, the way our offense is and defense, just for the whole team, we want to get better. We can't wait to get better. We can't wait to watch the film. So that's what drives us, I think, in those moments is that we just want to be better than what we were last week. And, yeah, that's really it.
Any more questions, or everyone else there? All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all, seriously.